Here is the rear wheel assembly on my little Grom Clone here. I went ahead and ordered new bearings and stuff. This thing really has a little bit over 400 miles and the bearings are absolute crap. I'll be doing the front too, but the rear I'm doing sprocket changes because I have a ZS 190 in this thing. So I'm getting my trying to get a better top speed than acceleration. I'm gonna daily ride this thing. Everything else works pretty good. I bought it off a guy who was already put together. Excuse me, but I'm gonna go through all this since I'm already having to change this stuff. Got a new chain. I'm sticking with the 428 pitch chain. I just don't think a 420 chain is designed to go that fast, that many revolutions with these small 12-inch wheels. You know, I know people are like, oh, I got 1,000 miles on my chain. Well, 1,000 miles isn't a lot on a chain, so I'm not gonna trust a 420 chain on this, especially getting up on the highway. It's already non-O-ring chain, so I'm gonna stick with the 428 to have a higher tensile strength. Because I think if I go with a 420 O-ring chain, it would be the same probably width and stuff as a 428 chain, which then I probably wouldn't be able to run an 18 front anyways. 17 is the biggest you can run without having to grind the case or anything in there. With a 428 chain, stock is a 34 rear tooth. I got it cleaning over there, I'll show you in just a second. 34. I ordered a 29, so that's probably going to be way too much, but the saying goes, one tooth difference on the front sprocket is like a 3-tooth difference on the rear. So about converting it to going from a 34 to a 29 is about probably an 18 front tooth. So we'll just see. It's probably going to be way too much. If it is, I'll get a probably a 31 and see what that does. But for now, try a 30. I'll try that 29. Wasn't that much for it. Anyways, pull it out. These are your adjusters. Absolutely hate this design. I am so blessed to have a single-sided swing arm. It's like popping a wheel off of a vehicle, because just in the chain, you use a big spanner. You undo this big bolt here and use a big spanner tool and you adjust it and it just pivots. It pivots this assembly, the hub assembly, and tightens that chain, and then you torque that bolt down, and then it's just a 4-lug on that wheel. So this is a VFR. Ducatis obviously have single side arms on their main sport bike and all that stuff. So awesome design. Terrible design. I hate this because you have your main axle bolt, and then you have these adjusters, but every time I get it adjusted, the main adjustment is I get the chain exactly where I want it, slack I want it, and then I slowly adjust this and keep this, then tighten it down. Well, as soon as I tighten this down, it wants to move that tire, because even though say you adjust that, okay, you have that tight, well, that just puts force that way if the axle moves, or anyways, I can't think. If I had it installed, but these can still move. Like, I'll get done tightening the axle and then they'll be like sliding like son of a bitch. So I absolutely hate this design. It's a very crappy design. I will try to get a deal on an aluminum swing arm that'll have more of a standard adjustment for the rear axle. Front obviously is no big deal because you slide it in, bolt it down, you're good to go. Okay, so like I said, bearings are bad, brakes are fine for what they are. I'm sure they're probably organic or something super cheap. Not worried about that. They stop fine. Brakes could use a little bit more pressure on this rear brake. I'm probably gonna re-drain and fill that to see, because it takes, you got to push that pedal down quite a bit before you start filling that rear brake. So there could be some air in that. Front brakes are fine. As soon as I hit them, they're bam, it gets squeezing that disc. Rear shock seems to be fine. My other bike right there, that's an earlier Grom Clone. It's got a YSS shock on the rear and all that. I'm probably going to take that off, put it on here, swap that. I need to sell that one. That has a YX150 in that one. I just need to wash it, get it all nice and clean, and just sell that, because then later on I found this one. So this is the newer model with the double headlight and all that stuff. He did do actually quite a bit. He's got that all stunnered up and stuff, with the added rear brake on the bottom and an added brake lever and all that crap. I don't give a shit about that. I want to ride these things. I'm not into popping wheelies and crap. One thing, this was changed out from the stock. Yeah, it's a piece of crap, because it comes with these super long bolts. Like I said, this was already done, so I've never seen this in stock form. See, I'm missing, well, bolts there. That holds the original big old rear wheel cover with your license plate and stuff like that. I may actually put that back on. I know it sounds stupid, but I go all over the place and all the dirt and mud and stuff. Oops, that scared the shit out of me. I'd rather hit that than just go everywhere. Anyway, so there's that. Let's come over here. Here's the rear wheel. Oh, also, the rear bushings are just thrashed. The wheel bush, I keep forgetting what they're called. It just takes the jolt out of when you're shifting gears and stuff. I mean, they're all so I'm gonna order some Honda ones. These are just it's just so soft. They just all ripped in half, basically. I mean, that's just bad. So the O-rings, the seals were crap, because he had the axle kind of crooked. He had that wheel crooked. Another thing, order original Honda Grom axle bolts. The front is shorter than the rear, so you will need two different kinds. They're about 10 bucks a pop. These are really straight and true, smooth. The stock Chinese ones, this one actually has a bow in it, or it may be just kind of a optical illusion, but it's kind of, you'll probably won't see it, but it looks like it's kind of got a bow in that. Anyways, here's the other adjuster. These go on the outside to keep it from rotating, spinning. Some rear spacers. I got some aluminum Chimera spacers. Here's the stock 34. It's got that shield guard on. Don't worry about it. You don't need that when you put a new one on. Here's the bearings. I mean, just grit. Just, you can feel individual. The ball bearings in there. It's just like there's no grease in it. Got to get that spacer out. I'm gonna have to take this to the shop and use my press and get that out. I need that spacer to come out. I tried hammering it, and it's not budging at all. Or I may just get some PB blaster on that. Maybe that'll penetrate it. Anyways, these spacers are okay. They're just basically cut from stock steel, so you may want to polish them a little bit, some super fine grit. You don't want to take too much off, because then the seal may not touch. Other than that, as you can see, this is just a really shitty bolt. I'm not too worried about it breaking, but I mean, it's just not true. So like I said, I got a 29 tooth. This is steel. The other one's aluminum, so I know I'm not big on that, but it should last pretty decently for me. As you can see, since those pads were worn out or busted, it was hitting there, but this should be okay. Once I get new ones on, it'll be fine. So your rear wheel, your rear hub will have 3 bearings. Your front will only have 2, one on each side, since this is a double hub. You'll have two. You'll have one there, and then two in the actual wheel. A rotor goes there. This side it goes, and then your cushion bushings go right there. I mean, this bearing is just, I mean, it's just toast. They're all toast. Just absolute crap. I can't even get that one to spin. So, first thing you do, you buy this, go ahead and change the bearings out. Get stock Grom ones or all balls or whatever brand you want. Change those bearings out. Get Grom axle bolts too, because these are just absolute crap. I will hand them. They did use, oh, I don't have the nut over here. They did use even on the Chinese one, that has a steel lock on the nut. So you will, if you're changing the sprockets a lot, you may see metal material come off. It's because it has that, see those two teeth, they bite into the threads. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they do keep it from locking, I would guess, better than a nylon nut. This came with these crash guards. You put that there, the bolt there, and then these thread on to cover the bolt, and then if you fall, it skids on that. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, this was the biggest. This is something else. I have everything else, and now I gotta order this crap. So I'm gonna be down for a while on that. I was really hoping to get this together and ride it tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go with a different exhaust. Do not like, this thing's just way too freaking loud. I'd actually like a high mount, have it come up here. Use it, I think it comes right between there, comes up, and then your pipes right there. This thing is it's just way too fucking loud. I mean, I'm on these county roads and stuff going 60 or faster, and it's just even with my earplugs in with music going, I mean, you just hear that through the helmet. Other than that, I will drain for now. I'm just going to drain the fork fluid oil, refill with better fluid. It's one thing, I think it doesn't have enough, because you can push on it and it'll get stuck, and then you pop the bike back up and then it pops out. I'm sure they don't put enough from the get-go, and the fork oil in these are usually horrendous. It's real low quality fork oil. So if you're going to keep these, eventually I would like to get some actual adjustable forks in. I'm not too worried about it. It's not like I'm doing a whole lot. So those will be fine for now. I believe I'd have to look. I think for sure you can fit the 14 and 15 older Grom style, see, like this style forks in here. I'm not sure if the newer style, which is copies, forks fit, but I could be wrong. But other than that, if you do go with the Honda Groms, they're not adjustable, but you can fit, you know, they're Eternals, Race Tech springs, Race Tech gold valve emulators, stuff like that. These are built different on the inside. They are not built like the Honda Groms. So yeah, you can't just use that stuff. So if you don't care about adjustability and stuff like that, actually having a knob or adjuster screw, get some Honda Grom forks, and then you can use emulators and all, and then get the spring set up for your weight that you're gonna be at. These are pretty much as is. It's fine for me. I'm not a big guy. Other than that, everything else pretty much works. I just need to get the damn bearings going. I do need to check the valves on this thing. I need to add the oil cooler. He didn't have an oil cooler on it. It does have a flat side Mikuni carb. I don't know if it's real. I have to double check if this is an actual real Mikuni carb or not. I do not know, since Chinese knockoffs are everywhere. But it does say made in Japan on the other side and all that crap. But I don't know if it's a real one or not. But I will eventually find out, because I mean it says Mikuni on the side, but you know, Chinese copies don't care about that. They'll put whatever on. I need to get them apart, check the check the jets. And because I'm having, when I'm full throttle and I got this engine all the way to about 8,500, 9,000, it'll usually run fine and hold, but as soon as I start letting off the throttle, it can do some surging and stuff like that. So I need to check the needle, all that stuff. I would actually like to, where the hell would the air filter box go? I'd like to run a stock air filter setup, just because it's so dusty here. It's farmland here, and it's constant plowed fields, and a lot of dirt in the air all the time. I mean, this is, I've already washed this off, and it's just dirt everywhere. So don't want to rely on a cheap air filter. I'd rather have an air box. I guess it goes, hell, I don't know. I'd have to get a picture from someone on one of these things. Anyways, so this needs to be rotated to get it back this way. Now I may have to do that anyways, because I got to get this oil cooler to mount. Usually you'll mount it on the triple or somewhere right there. the horn's already snapped off. Piece of crap. So, and as you can see, it's just not really fitting quite well going forward. So I need to rotate, get that back. It's good to have it forward. Airflow is probably great on it, but fresh air, cooler air. But big boy, get out of that cat food. Anyway, so I'll do that. That'll be later. I'm not too worried about now. Just need to get it rolling again now. So I'm gonna get online in just a second, order those cushions, and yeah, see, I need to, I think he used the stock throttle. I should probably go and order it. That looks like it's maxed out. I think this is the stock for the stock engine throttle, clutch cable, and the throttle cable. I do need to see, this thing's got horrible play in the throttle. I need to take that apart, because it came with this, and he said it broke, but I looked at it, and then he put this one on. I don't know. Anyways, it's got adjustable levers, yada yada. So I got a hell of a deal on it, so I can't complain too much. But I haven't had a starter chain break yet, so that's cool. I just barely tapped that starter button, and man, that thing fires right up. Shifts okay. I need to take it off, see if I need to add that bend that arm, that shifter arm more, or just do the shifter star mod. Obviously you can't kick start it because you got your foot peg assembly there, so this is pretty much a starter or a push start. Yeah, then I don't know why the hell that thing's kinked up, so I'll probably need to, I'm gonna go and fart with this. I'll rotate that. I may need to get a new hose with like a 45 bend, or just, I guess, angle that. I guarantee you tightened it down and squished that over, because yeah, it's kinking. It's probably not kinking the line, but it's squishing the outside rubber. I don't want that thing cracking open. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge deal, because it's, well, I guess if it got on the tire, that'd be a huge deal. But okay, anyways, that's progress on this thing. So get all that crap done and go from there.